Okay, the swivel base in SolidWorks. We have millimeters and a 10 millimeter thickness, 5 millimeter boss. Let's go to SolidWorks, File New. Okay. And let me check my units. Units. And we're already in millimeters. That's the default. This is my home computer. This is the millimeters is default here and inches in the lab. I wonder why it's changed, how it's changed. Because I'd like to figure out how to put my grid on as a default. All right, I'm going to draw this thing flat on the top plane. And speaking of my grid, down on there. And I'm just going to start drawing some circles here. If you watch the Inventor one first, I'm going to do basically the same process. I just messed that up. I did a move without hitting control. I tried to pan without hitting the control key. It happens. Okay, got another circle over here. Smaller one. And some lines in here. Tangent lines. Some horizontal tangent lines. Gotta touch the circle there. There we go. And same on this side. Right here. If you hit the quadrants, I went a little too small, didn't I? If you hit the quadrants, you should get a tangency. I did there. I got one. Yeah, I got my tangencies already in. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that these are on the same horizontal, and it doesn't look like they are. See, that's a little bit lower than that line there, which is lined up with the origin point. So I'm going to select both points. I pick on that origin point, and then I hold the control key down and pick on this point. It'll just narrow those two that I selected, point 2 and point 5, and I'll put them on horizontal. If you watch that, that should pop up as it did right there. Now they're locked in on each other. So we're going to put this 96 distance in. So from here to here, we got a distance in 96. Oh. My number lock is not on. There we go, 96. And then we need, here they give you a radius of 30. I have a circle in there. Well, I'm going to fix that. I'll trim that out so that I can't put a radius in. If I left the circle in, if I didn't trim, I'd have to put in a diameter, which would be 60. But here I got a radius of 30, so I'll put that in at 30. Oh, dimension 30. And a radius of 20. And there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to do these parts same way I did it in Inventor. Put this distance here at 60. So the distance from the center of the circle and this endpoint will be 60. Okay. And this will be the same, so I'm just going to pick that, hit control, pick that line, and make them equal. Over here, equal. Now I'll put the arc in. I'm going to pull this over a little bit. And we'll use the arc command. So pick a part here, and then just kind of go like that. Radius of 15, put a diameter or a dimension on there for my radius of 15. Now, let's hit with our relations, I'm going to, out of the dimension command, I'm going to click on the arc, hit control, click on this line here, and pick tangent. So now you see it's not touching it, but if it were to touch it, it would continue on a tangency. Now the next one we're going to do is we're going to pick the arc, and then I'm going to hit control and pick that point and hit coincident. Okay. So now it's right on there, and then I can get out of there and trim that up, trim that out, trim that out, and trim that out. And I'm gonna do a mirror. To do a mirror, let me put a construction line in here. Pick line, I come down here for my options for construction and pop that in there. From center point to center point, so I have a mirror line. Click on mirror entities, entities to mirror, it's highlighted here. We'll pick this arc and then mirror about. So I'll pick on that and I'll pick that line and then say okay. There we go, trim that up. Okay, now all I need to do is I'm going to put in a hole here and a hole here and a hole here. So we got a couple holes, got 3 holes to pop in. These ones are concentric to those circles, so I'll pop those in by mousing over those arcs to find those center points, which are pretty easy to find as it is. And then one's in here somewhere. Okay. Let me make sure that this is concentric. Click on both and pop the concentric. Oh, it wasn't. How about that? Yeah, it's always good to check. I hit the concentric relation and it makes sure it's concentric. Let's do the same thing over here. Pick this arc and then pick this arc. Hit concentric, and that was pretty close if it wasn't already. And then this one, I'm going to make sure it's on the same elevation. So I'm going to pick this center point and that center point and make sure that they're horizontal. And they are. Okay, now I'm just going to put the dimensions in. So we've got 20, 20, and 10. So our diameters are going to be 20. Oh, did something weird, didn't I? 203, 20. There we go. 20. Got that one. And 10. Okay, now I need this distance. The 48. 48 right there. So put a distance from here to here. Bring it in at 48. Okay. Now, I'm not doing this outer circle because that's the boss and it isn't represented in the base. Right now I'm just drawing the base feature. So I'm going to exit the sketch and then extrude it 10 millimeters, and we're already at 10 millimeters, so I just have to say okay. Now we're going to do the boss, which is a 30 millimeter diameter, and so we'll just put a sketch plane right on this top feature and draw a circle from the origin point there. Let me make sure it's concentric. Click that, and click that, and concentric. Okay. And the diameter is 30. So if we get out of there, and I'm going to extrude. Well, I just want, see, it's doing this weird stuff. I just want the interior part, and it's possibly not going to do that because I did not click on that first. So let's see, sketch plane, from sketch plane. It's not giving me something to grab, is it? Okay. Well, that's not a huge problem. I just have to put another hole in there. But I don't like it. Let me go back. Let's go back. Let me see if this makes a difference. Okay. Go back to there. I'm going to say, I'm going to pick the interior first and then that. concentric. See if that does it. And then 30. I don't know, maybe it's a setting that I have on my computer because this worked at school. All right, let me get out of here. Try it again. Control 7 and extrude. No. What's the problem here, dude? Feature up, extrude. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna grab it. I don't know why it wants to go back to a sketch. Extrude. Weird. Well, I guess I have to live with this. Okay. That's 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. And what we'll do if this happens, you know, you just have to finish that hole. So I'll put a sketch plane right here. And put a circle in there. And that's what, 20 millimeters. Okay, make sure that that's concentric. Okay. And exit that. And then we will extrude the cut. Extruded cut right there through all. That's it. If it would have been smoother if I didn't have that one issue, but it is what it is. And sometimes things work out as you plan them, and sometimes they don't. But there's always a way to get around it and fix it. Okay, so save as. And this is the swivel base.